Over 1,800 people died in New Orleans and the surrounding states and regions during Hurricane Katrina. According to National Geographic, the majority of deaths over the past 30 years have been due to inland flooding, as many hurricanes can inundate areas with over 12 inches of rain in a very short period of time, trapping many in their homes who chose to ride out the storm. This problem is even more evident in New Orleans, where poverty and generational views of hurricanes have proven to be just as dangerous as the winds and seas themselves. Some citizens did not own a vehicle before the storm, and government services to evacuate them were oftentimes plagued with disorganization. The elderly, who had lived through dangerous storms in the past, decided to ride it out again in their home, believing this storm and the next one would never cause too many problems that they could never get out from under. Hurricanes can also offer a two-punch impact on coastal regions, where the extensive rainfall, coupled with storm surge, a sudden rising of water from the seas caused by the extreme winds, inundated roads as well as their very own houses. According to DoSomething.org, over 15 million people who stayed during the storm or returned later to the devastation were affected by contaminated or disrupted water supplies, as well as other issues to include gas supplies, economic problems, and evacuation support. Today, I would like to persuade my audience to prepare for all types of possibilities when dealing with a hurricane that may be coming toward your region. Even if preparations only involve watching the news and keeping informed, you may save the lives of yourself and your family. Hurricane season extends from the 1st of June through the entire month of November. Although looking back over the past 100 years, as evidenced by this diagram from the Weather Channel, some months are prone to more activity than other. As you can see, August and September for hurricane formation are the biggest months to keep a lookout for. That being said, your awareness on what's going on in the tropics and anything that may impact you and your family should never waver. An important item to get during any tropical season is a hurricane tracking map. Various radio and TV stations offer them for free, and you're able to track via lat and long and find out if the storm is heading your way. This one here covers from the coast of Africa to the eastern seaboard and southeast United States. Local meteorologists will give 6 hourly updates to the position of the storm, which you can plot on there using a marker or a simple pen. And it allows the viewers to be ahead of the game when it comes to preparing for the worst. Unfortunately, as many found out in Katrina, the warning time was only 3 days, as the storm made an unexpected turn to the north, as it had been forecasted to venture further to the west towards Texas. In the months leading up to hurricane season, many should know if their region is in a flood-prone area. This graphic from NOLA.com depicts the regions in New Orleans that were flooded. The dark red and black areas show regions that were covered with over 8 feet of water. Proper preparation when it comes to your property may help save your family's lives. But this brings me to my next point of preparation: supplies. I have often been one to think cigarettes and a stockpile of beer are well-intentioned items to prepare for a hurricane. I would not say that for everyone. In fact, I've grown out of that phase now and I know better. In a worst-case scenario, especially during times of power outages, some lasting weeks and months, generators are the best thing you should have. Some, though, found that gas to run the generators was in short supply after a hurricane. Many gas stations had run out of fuel within the first couple weeks. Gas stockpiles for your generator is an important product to have on hand and may prove the difference between sleeping in the dark and having a nightlight for your young child, still scared by what just happened in the days prior. Another important item is propane. As stated before, gas is a necessity. The ability to cook whatever food you may have is important as well. Many found that the only thing remaining that worked for the weeks before power came back was their very own barbecue pit. Charcoal pits are one thing, but charcoal is a different thing to come by, going back and forth to Walmart, which may be closed for the weeks before power comes back online. So a good gas grill to cook your meals was something that proved to be priceless. If you plan ahead and fill up multiple tanks before the storms arrive, you may find yourself ahead of the game when it comes to fighting for spots in line to fill up before your local store runs out of fuel. When looking at what is needed to sustain life for an extended period of time, food and water are at the top of any list. During a storm that produces massive flooding issues in your local area, salt water and sewage can disrupt and contaminate the local supply of water. Lack of power can provide problems when it comes to keeping your food cold or frozen and keeping it from spoiling. If you should find yourself with a storm nearing your region, you must stock up on water and non-perishables. GetReadyForFlu.org issues a checklist of items you need to prepare for a disaster. It's evidenced here. They find that 1 gallon of water per person, simple gallon of water per person, per day, is a good rule of thumb. It should keep everyone hydrated while you wait for stores to open and the roads to clear. Although keep in mind that elderly, young children, and pregnant women will need more. Also keep in mind this is just for drinking. You will have to alter your supply ratio to account for cooking and cleaning as well. For food supplies, GetReadyForFlu.org suggests a shopping list for disaster preparedness to cover canned goods, simple pork and beans is also a very high protein thing that can be cooked very easily on your barbecue pit, as well as peanut butter is on that list. You must invest in canned goods, though, to prepare on your barbecue grill. Canned meats, vegetables, fruits work well, but try to look for items in low sodium to sustain fluid levels in your body. As I stated earlier, the shopping list here is available there, but you may need to alter this list depending on your family's discretion as well as your ability to stockpile amounts of food. Another way to stockpile extra food is to get coupled with your neighbors. If one neighbor does water, another one does canned goods, another does meats, vegetables, stuff like that, you'll find that a group together in a disaster is better than all by yourself. After experiencing hurricanes much of my life, I implore anyone who is in the path of one of these storms to take these precautions I have stated here to heart. If you do not have the option of evacuating, you must prepare and prepare well. If you take these cautionary items seriously and prepare your family for the worst case scenario, you will find a much greater chance of survival and living well in the aftermath. Thank you.